admiral, every counselor, every priest, every merchant whispered the same question. Why? Why had humanity awoken now? The Veil Dominion, once proud masters of the Corward sectors, now lived in terror. Their fleets were shattered, their pride broken. Survivors reported dreams, visions of human eyes watching them from the darkness. Was it fear, or something deeper? The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath. No one dared provoke the Terran Armada again. No one dared approach their growing sphere of reawakening power. Instead, civilizations whispered in dread, passing stories like shadows. Humans don't just build fleets, they bury them like seeds, and when the galaxy grows arrogant, they rise again. The lesson was clear. Humanity had not vanished. It had endured in silence, preserving its storms for the day the stars would need to remember terror. And now, with the lost fleet awake, the galaxy would never know peace again. Because when humanity's forgotten armadas ignite their engines, the universe itself must watch in awe. And in fear. For 1,000 cycles, the galaxy knew one truth: humanity was gone. Their records, if they could even be called that, were fragmented echoes in alien archives, stories of a species that rose too fast, burned too bright, and then vanished into their own ashes. The Council of Races often spoke of humans in the past tense, their name little more than a cautionary tale told to young strategists. Do not spread too thin. Do not chase endless wars. Do not think yourself immortal. What remained of Earth was long dismissed as dust, its colonies silent, its war machines rotted beyond recognition. Scans revealed nothing but derelicts in orbital graveyards, drifting husks too corroded to hold life, too primitive to match modern fleets. To the proud elder races, humanity was an extinguished flame, remembered only because once, in their brief fury, they had scarred the galaxy. But scars fade, and the stars, it was believed, had forgotten them. Or so it seemed. Whispers in the dark. It began with static. Out in the Perseus fringe, a Veyari listening post caught bursts of old code transmissions, the kind of signals reserved for civilizations long collapsed. Faint pulses, broken words, echoes of coordinates. At first, the Veyari dismissed it as stellar noise bleeding through the void. But when the bursts grew stronger, others noticed. An exploration flotilla from the Kelari Dominion dispatched a science vessel. Their scans revealed a graveyard of ships orbiting a ruined star system, blackened hulls, shattered frames, and silent stations half consumed by asteroids. The flotilla cataloged the wrecks with disinterest. Artifacts, their archivists said, nothing more. But then the readings shifted. Power signatures pulsed faintly, like embers refusing to die. Whole formations of Terran dreadnoughts hung in perfect orbital symmetry, aligned as though awaiting orders. Their hulls bore scars of wars lost to time, but their cores still whispered. Reports filtered back to the Council. Some dismissed them outright. Human ruins are everywhere, their signals nothing but phantom echoes. Others grew uneasy. Ships did not hold formation for millennia unless something held them. The graveyard breathes. Weeks later, the truth could no longer be ignored. A reconnaissance wing entered the system to strip the derelicts for salvage. The crews joked as they drifted among Terran hulls. They spoke of ghosts, laughed about ancient humans staring back through empty viewports. Yet the laughter died when their sensors lit up. Engines that had been cold for 500,000 years flared to life. Plasma coils hummed. Energy grids spread across hulls once thought broken. Ships long silent rolled in precise unison, their gun batteries turning as if waking from slumber. One Kelari captain panicked and fired a probe torpedo. The moment the weapon launched, a response came. Terran point defense systems, older than any alien civilization's founding, flared awake and annihilated the torpedo before it crossed half the distance. The graveyard was no graveyard, it was a fleet. And it was awake. Engines of the forgotten. The first fleet stirred in silence. No transmissions, no demands, just the thunder of ancient reactors warming, echoing across the void like drums of war. The aliens scrambled for answers. How could Terran ships function after so long? Their alloys should have decayed, their circuits corroded, their AI degraded to dust. But the Terrans had not built these ships to fade. They had buried them, entombed them with failsafes, autonomous repair drones, hibernating AI cores, and encrypted directives that still held power. One by one, the warships aligned into battle groups. Titans the size of cities pivoted gracefully, escorted by cruisers and frigates with hulls sharp as knives. The formation was flawless, as if time itself had been waiting for the command. The Council's fleets were dispatched to contain the awakening. Hundreds of alien ships entered the system, broadcasting warnings: deactivate, identify, submit. The Terran fleet did not answer in words. Their reply was motion. The sky that burned black. The moment of dread came swiftly. Without warning, the Terran armada surged forward. They did not stumble. They did not hesitate. Engines roared with such intensity that whole sensor arrays across the galaxy registered the event. Alien commanders tried to reposition, but their ships moved as if clumsy beside the Terran phantoms. The war machines of Earth weaved through space with unnatural precision, their targeting arrays calculating trajectories decades beyond modern doctrine. The first salvo tore through the containment fleet. Entire squadrons blinked into fire, their shields ripped apart by weapons whose destructive power should have been obsolete, yet struck with mathematical perfection. Each beam, each missile, each rail round found its mark as if guided by inevitability. Alien captains screamed over comms, reporting impossible maneuvers. Terran dreadnoughts absorbed volleys that should have crippled them, their armor regenerating with nanite sheens, their point defenses weaving walls of light no one could penetrate. The stars went black with Terran hulls, eclipsing suns as they expanded their formation. For the first time in an age, the galaxy trembled. Terror in the void. The Council convened emergency sessions, their chambers filled with panic. The question was not whether humanity had survived, for no humans were aboard those ships. The question was worse: had humanity prepared for their absence? The fleets were too coordinated for mere automatons. Their command AIs operated with chilling intent, adapting to enemy maneuvers, countering with strategies buried deep in war archives. These were not derelicts stumbling awake. These were soldiers of steel, bound to orders long written. The alien fleets retreated, broadcasting pleas across the void. They begged the machines to halt, to explain, to parley. No answer came, only the endless roar of engines, the endless sweep of guns tracking stars. The galaxy began to whisper the old myths once dismissed, that humanity never trusted peace, that they buried storms beneath the silence of stars, waiting for the day when betrayal, invasion, or extinction demanded their return. The whispers grew louder as more systems reported similar awakenings. Graveyards once mapped as ruins now pulsed with power. Stations that were thought gutted unfolded armored wings. Fields of debris rearranged themselves into disciplined squadrons. The dead fleet was not one system's secret, it was many. When legends walk again. Civilizations across the spiral arm trembled. The Kelari withdrew their frontier colonies. The Vayari cloistered their homeworlds behind desperate shields. Even the mighty Shryan clans who had mocked humanity's fall for ages ceased their raiding campaigns. Everywhere, the name Terran was spoken not as history, but as omen. For the fleets did not simply return to orbit old stars. They moved. They traversed trade routes, reoccupied choke points, and spread into strategic sectors. Wherever they passed, alien forces fled rather than test their wrath. It was as if the galaxy itself realized too late that humanity's extinction had never been assured. One alien historian spoke trembling words before the council. "You thought their silence meant death, but humanity does not die in silence. They wait, and when they rise, the galaxy remembers why it feared them." Shadows across the stars. Weeks passed, and the Terran fleets grew bolder. They never hailed, never demanded, never declared war. They simply were. Their mere presence destabilized entire sectors, collapsing trade, fracturing alliances. Civilizations spent centuries believing themselves heirs to the galaxy, and now they found themselves children hiding from phantoms of iron. Some speculated that humans themselves still lived, directing these fleets from some hidden bastion. Others whispered darker fears, that humanity truly was extinct, and these were nothing but their shadows, programmed to endure long after flesh perished. But whether ghost or master, the effect was the same. The stars bore witness to terror rekindled, to a fleet that should never have existed still commanding the void with unmatched might. And in every chamber, in every council, in every whispered corner of the galaxy, one question curdled like poison. If this is what they left behind, what else have they hidden? The dreadful aftermath. The galaxy's maps began to redraw themselves in silence. Whole sectors were marked no-go zones, Terran wakes, the aliens called them. Caravans vanished in their shadow, fleets rooted without battle. But humanity's greatest weapon was not their guns. It was the dread they sowed. The galaxy realized that humans did not build fleets merely for war. They built them as monuments, preserved as storms in waiting, ready to strike centuries after their makers had turned to dust. The Council, once so certain of human extinction, could not agree on action. Strike and risk annihilation, hide and hope the fleets wither, or worse, wait for the day the ships no longer patrolled aimlessly but advanced with purpose. And so the galaxy whispered, fearful and awestruck. Humanity does not vanish. Humanity waits. Their storms sleep, their ghosts patrol, and when the time comes, the stars will tremble again. Epilogue: the stars witness terror. Out in the Perseus fringe, the last of the old Terran codes echoed across comms. Not a voice, not a face, just words transmitted in every tongue known to the galaxy. Standby order, persistence protocol engaged, mission ENDURES. No context, no end date. The lost fleet drifted onward, eternal watching, waiting. And the stars, cold, ancient, endless, bore silent witness to terror reborn.